Virgos, this is Paragia Tarot. I am here to do your reading for today, guys, and happy 4th of July. Just in case, I want to warn you, and there might be some loud noises because it's been really loud around my place tonight, so there might be some revved engines or fireworks going off, so if so, I'm sorry about that. But let's ask the universe, what is coming up? Universe, the person on my Virgo's mind, how does this person feel towards my Virgo, and what will be their next actions towards Virgo? All right. Temperance to the Devil in the reverse. I definitely sense that this is someone who feels a very strong urgency to heal. And if this is someone who's dealing with toxic behaviors that relate to drink, temperance, which means to not drink, would be one of the main things. So if your person deals with substance abuse, things like that, they're feeling a very strong desire. Because I think that what they've been doing is kind of like taking it a bit too easy on themselves in relationship to that, or whatever issue that they've been dealing with, and they haven't been fighting hard enough. And I think that they're realizing also that they can't defend their behavior anymore. They just need to change. But this is them intending to come in and speak to you, but they want something that they can say to you. That could be that if your person deals with toxic issues that relate, really to anything at all, but especially when it comes to, substances, that they wanted to be able to come in, or whatever the situation, they wanted to be able to come in and tell you that there had been a change. They wanted to come in and be able to substantially kind of like guarantee you or promise you that there'd been some kind of shift in the situation. And so I think that maybe laziness or deferment of effort, procrastination was something that was kind of on the menu here. But this is someone who they realize that happiness with you is more valuable and is what they truly want. And I think they're seeing and understanding their own toxic cycles and understanding it. Just saw 222. And so they're understanding that it's over. They need to stop. They're realizing that they need to change. Oh, there goes an engine for you guys. Sorry about that. They're realizing that they need to change, or else there will be absolutely no option, no way for them to come in. Essentially, that it's kind of like an end of the road situation. Yeah. So with the Knight of Wands in the reverse, this feels like an energy of being distracted, being unmotivated, or this could just be someone who maybe coming in and having to promise you things makes them feel a little bit, maybe it disappoints their vanity, or it makes them feel a little bit like not so proud of themselves. And if they're a fire sign, could be dealing with a Leo as well, because it's definitely, or Capricorn here. It's definitely a strong energy that tends to have strong pride, because this, the sun rules them. And so, this is somebody who didn't want to have to ask forgiveness. I think that maybe pride and ego has been a part of their toxicity, that they did not want to come to terms with, or that they didn't want to adjust. But yeah, this is someone coming out of their delusions, coming out of their self-denial, their self-imposed excuses, and realizing that it's gonna be a lot worse of a bad look on them if they get rejected by you than if they just have to come in and ask for your forgiveness. Because I'm almost sensing that there was an ego issue here, and that they're coming to terms with it and realizing, and just kind of being honest with themselves that I wasn't going into Virgo just because I didn't want to have to admit that I was wrong. I didn't want to have to admit that I was wrong because of my pride, because that would have made me feel like not the man, or the woman, whatever. But they're understanding that it'll look a lot worse on me if Virgo breaks my heart and rejects me forever. So it's actually the better, because they were very much prioritizing protecting their heart and their ego. But I think they're realizing just how foolish and childish that is. With the Page of Swords here, they have their eye on you, they're watching you, they're looking for information, they're trying to find out how you feel, they're trying to suss out how you feel so that they can gauge the situation and whether or not it's safe, I guess, to approach. Here you are. But I sense that you're not saying anything. They think that you're going to cut them off, and that maybe that you're not over wrongs of the past, but they even still, the Page of Cups is here. And so I feel like this is them understanding that, like, I just have to make an effort and I just have to go in. Also with the Death card here to the Queen of Wands, you could be dealing with a Scorpio or another fire sign. I feel like this is them, like they're intending to communicate that it's over with a potential third party, if there was a third party in this situation. So yeah, so their intention is to do that, to let you know that it's over with someone else and that they've changed, and to explain why maybe they went off with someone. With the King of Swords here in the reverse to the Eight of Cups, they might even be coming up with a story as to why they left. But I mean, to be honest, even somebody coming up with a lie and telling you a lie just so that it'll comfort you in hopes of you forgiving them is more caring than saying nothing, because at least they care. They're showing that they care enough to lie. they care enough about how you feel and wanting to make you feel better, and they value you in their life enough that they're like, well, even if I have to tell a lie about why I left or what was going on to make myself seem like not so much of a jerk, or to make an excuse that wasn't just about me being prideful and wanting to do my own thing, but maybe I, try to make it sound like there was something imperative that was happening, or something, that was forcing me to leave. I mean, honestly, is that really so bad? I mean, we've all kind of done that. We've all come up with excuses for our boss or our parents or our teachers, or, what have you, to try and make ourselves seem like we had a good excuse, but maybe we didn't. But that, because that just, in this context, that just shows that they care, that they value you. So with the Eight of Wands here, they are coming in to communicate. Queen of Cups, though, in the reverse, they're not really, they're expecting that you're not going to be necessarily too receptive to them emotionally, or that you might be upset. They're expecting that there might be some emotional overflow from you. But I think they're still coming in. They want to make this right. I think they understand that they just don't have another option. That if they do want to fix things with you, that with the Magician in the reverse, they're just going to have to submit their desire to make everything perfect, to have everything be done on their terms, to have everything be done within the parameters of their comfort, any of those sort of angles. I think they're understanding, I have to give up my pride, I have to give up sort of my power position, and I just have to come in, because this is not, you could have expressed to them that you're not happy with the way that they behave, because really, in love, we need to be willing. Love can't exist when all we're thinking about is making ourselves feel like we're the one with all the power. That you're setting love up to fail if you do that. Love is about relinquishing power and trusting and opening up and being honest and showing our vulnerabilities and trusting the other person and being intimate, But with the Nine of Swords in the reverse, this is someone just understanding, like, I need to do this just to get myself out of this place of torment. Because basically, maybe they even feel like you guys have a psychic connection where they can sort of telepathically feel where you're coming from, or what you think, or where you're at in this situation. And they're like, I know that this is like the end of the road, and I just have to stop being a jerk, and I have to do something, Anyways, so universe, what is this Ten of Cups to the Devil in the reverse? How does my Virgo's person feel towards Virgo, and what actions will they take towards Virgo? Pain. Oh gosh, apprehensive, afraid, and cautious. Yeah, they want this Ten of Cups with you, but because it is so precious to them, and that because it is so beautiful and valuable to them, this is why they have held back, is because they just couldn't, they feel so flawed, they don't feel good enough, and they're so worried that if they come to you in the wrong way or at the wrong time, that they'll get a final rejection, and they just cannot handle that, because they want ultimate happiness with you. Yeah, they've been wanting to start over and try again with you, but they're so scared, you know, to come. They've been so scared to come in and express that to you. With intimacy, bonding, and confiding in the reverse, this is someone who they probably have a problem with intimacy, or maybe they're understanding this, that they do have a problem with intimacy, that this is something that they struggle with, and that could be the toxic behavior that either is the toxic behavior they're fighting, or that it's the motivation behind maybe substance abuse or some kind of toxic behavior that they deal with. Or it could just be the way that they relate in relationships. But yeah, with memories here, they're reminiscing, they're dwelling, and it's bittersweet. But I think that it's definitely an energy of like, they're being honest with themselves. They're facing, they're not allowing themselves to delude themselves anymore, and you know, maybe lie to themselves or to others to try to make themselves the victim, you know, to deflect blame. I think they're understanding that like doing that is like is turning you off. You know, it's like they're just facing reality, you know, and they're understanding it's now or never. Oh gosh, look at this, only you and spying, which looks weird next to each other, but basically they definitely are watching you. They're definitely watching you. They're having epiphanies, and they're definitely having epiphanies about themselves, their motivations, what they've been doing. I feel like this is almost a message too for you Virgos, that to not, if you have a tendency to kind of sugarcoat things, I'm not saying you should like cut into this person and just, but I mean like, if you try to suppress or even hide, you know, the behaviors that you resent what other people do, you know, in relationships, maybe allow yourself to be more honest, even if it's just internally, because, you know, when we're intimate with someone or we have a connection with them, we can sense where they're coming from and how they feel towards us generally. And I feel like this person needs more clarity from you. Like if you are seeing behaviors that they are doing and you don't like those things, don't just be cool and pretend like, you know, don't hide everything and play it so close to the chest. Like allow yourself to express, even just inwardly to yourself, that like, dude, this is what you're doing and I don't like this. You know, because this feels like an energy of somebody who is receptive and they want to please you, but maybe you have been hiding your feelings, and so they haven't been able to see where you're coming from, you know, and so they've just been locked up in their own head, because it looks like this is someone who wants to know where you're coming from so that they can come in emotionally and know how to approach you. But they want, you know, it's like, and if you're a female dealing with a male, you know, stereotypically, you know, men want to please you and they need to know what you want. You know, so I guess what I'm trying to say, you know, is try to make it, you know, try to feel, you know, try to be more plain in expressing what it is that you genuinely want from this person. You know, don't make it too elusive, I guess. But yeah, they've got their eye on you, only you. They're spying on you. They're probably trying not to, or they're trying to hide that, or maybe they're having somebody else do it. They're asking someone else, but oh wow, they definitely have their eye on you. So, universe, how does my Virgo's person feel towards Virgo? Drugs and alcohol. Yeah, so this is definitely, could be dealing with somebody who has substance abuse issues. Universe, how does my Virgo's person feel towards Virgo? How do they feel? Why do I feel this way? So I feel like your person is coming to understand and look at their own feelings and their own patterns, is what I'm sensing. Is that, yeah, they're trying to figure themselves out. They're trying to understand why they do the things they do. And I think that maybe the situations that were enabling them to behave the way that they've behaved in the past, or to stay in these toxic mechanisms, are crumbling. And it's causing them, and also they're having realizations. They're being forced to perceive what they're doing and why. And so it's like they're just seeing their own sort of, you know, bullshit, I guess. They're seeing and understanding why they do the things they do. And it's getting to a place where it's not even working for them anymore, you know? And they're really being forced to come out of the toxic nonsense and to not be able to delude themselves anymore. And I feel like your honesty will play a part in that. So caution. So at this time, don't overwork yourself, Virgo. Definitely, and this could be a message for your person as well, but definitely working too much can bring you out of the spirit. It can drain you so much that you won't be able to stand strong, or to really discern as well. So don't overwork yourself right now, is a message, because you could have been doing that recently. Universe, what else can you tell me about my Virgo situation? Love spell, you've been bewitched. So there could be a love spell somehow related to the situation. Maybe your person has had witchcraft on them, or maybe they're trying to do witchcraft on you. Or maybe they just feel like you are a love spell. You know, like they feel enamored of you. They feel like it doesn't quite make sense how they feel towards you. Maybe they've never felt this way towards someone before, like they can't let you go, they can't stop thinking about you, they feel bewitched. Okay, so let's go to the next deck, you guys. Oh, sorry, hit the tripod. All right, universe, can you tell me anything else about this situation for my Virgos? Luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. So the new moon coming up on the 24th, 25th of July could be an important time in this situation, but there's luck on your side, which is, I feel like this is saying whatever, you know, with the arrow too, the arrow is a symbol of action. And I feel like this is saying, either to you or your person, wherever you stand in this reading, to have faith, and that action is the key. If you take action, luck is on your side. That basically, you know, the worst thing you can do is do nothing, because if you do nothing, then you're guaranteeing that you will fail. But that if you take action, even if things look black and you can't see ahead of you, you can't see what you're pointing at, you know, so if this for your person, if you feel like you can't quite figure out how your Virgo person feels, and you feel like you're pointing into an empty space, and so you have no idea if you're going to hit the mark, just have faith, because luck is on your side. Just take action. Just, you know, just shoot the arrow, even if it's shooting into a big black hole. You know, you will still your luck is on your side. You know, the universe will guide your arrow. And conclusions are in reach. Interesting. Very good. Yeah, it's like saying have faith. And ooh, a new romantic cycle begins. And it's the same thing. It's like new moon. So it's like basically saying that, you know, even if you don't feel like you can see in front of you, still just take action and have faith. You know, have faith in the situation, have faith in the feelings that you feel, you know. All right, so universe, do you want to give us any timing cards around this? Anything? Is that appropriate for this reading? Maybe this one. Give it time. It's in the works. So, yeah, have faith. And I believe this person will be coming into you soon, Virgo. All right, I hope that this has blessed you, and I will speak to you guys soon.